Right, lovely. Let's start. So setting yourself into your easy pose. Let's fold in the ring finger and take the thumb to the knuckle of the ring finger. Palms face up. Closing your eyes. Or taking a downward gaze. Turning inward. Feel the connection between the earth and your seat. And sense that your spine is growing out of the earth, reaching up towards the sky. Our practice is a heart-centered yin practice to honor the full moon in Leo, lionheart. To invoke some of those qualities that will support us to expand, liberate constraints that we may experience in the heart space, so that we move from a place of courage and bravery with love, compassion, faith at the heart of our actions. Begin to notice your breath. Allow your breath to be full, expanding in the heart space. And at the heart, visualize the full moon, bright, bold, brilliant full moon. And as you inhale, this moon expands. And as you exhale, focus on the glow that radiates deep from within the heart of the moon. Inhaling to expand and fill your heart space. Exhaling to focus on the glowing heart radiating at the heart of your moon, your chest. I practice focusing on the heart today, a heart-centered practice. Practice of the lion heart that we've been working with. Allowing the wisdom of your heart to expand as the moon grows and fills the heart space. And as you exhale, focusing on the glow of the radiating heart for deep truth that sits within. So this deep truth for us is this strength of inner power, resilience of inner power. The glow as it expands is the manifestation, the full expression of your power. The mantra for our practice, Som Somaya Namaha. Om Som Somaya Namaha. Bringing your hands together at your heart center. And let's cross the right wrist over the left so that the backs of the hands are facing each other now. Interlace your little fingers. Leave your ring, interlace your middle fingers. Interlace your ring fingers. And now bring your ring and thumbs to touch, so that they resemble seeing eyes. Return your Baya Hridaya Mudra to the heart. Fearless heart. Chanting our mantra for invoking the qualities of the moon that reflects the light of the sun. This moonlight, which is gentler, more nurturing than the bright glare of the sun that can burn, overwhelm. And yet this glow of the moonlight is as powerful in lighting up the darkness of the night sky. Inhale fully. Som Somaya Namaha. Together. Som Somaya Namaha. Som Somaya Namaha. Together. Som Somaya Namaha. Som Somaya Namaha. Together. Som Somaya Namaha. 3 Oms, one for the sun, one for the moon, and one for your heart space. Inhale to prepare. Om. 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 Hands together in Namaskar. Let's bring it up to just above the eyebrow center, to this place below the hairline, which is where the Soma chakra, the chakra for the moon, is said to sit. The sweet nectar of the moon, this nourishing, hydrating energy of the moon. Namaste and welcome, yogis. Welcome to your yin practice. So for our yin practice today, we're going to be working with the heart meridians and the subtle energy of the heart space, which corresponds with the lionheart moon that we have. This power of the moon to manifest and effect change can be transformative, and yet we want to layer that with compassion and empathy and love. And so moving from the heart enables us to have both the fire that we need to create and sustain change, but to do that in a way that is constructive, is compassionate, is sustainable, and is engaging of all of the members of our community. Let's start by some gentle tapping. So we'll start with, hold out your left hand, and we'll create it with the peace fingers. We'll start tapping, or with the knuckles. So you can do peace finger tapping or your knuckle. And let's start on the inside of the ring, the little finger, sorry. The little finger here, we're working on the heart meridian. And we'll tap all the way along the hand to the wrist. Tap a couple of times on the wrist here. And then move your way along the inner arm, pausing again at the elbow. And by working on the heart meridian, we are invoking the element of fire in traditional Chinese medicine. And let's take that to underneath the armpit. And the emotion that it corresponds with is joy, inner joy. Then let's move across the heart to the sternum here, tapping here. Up along the throat, and now you might want to use your fingers just below your lips on the chin. The jaw, then move up to the cheekbones. And then let's go to the outer eye, inner eye, and the inside of the eye. Just tracing the line of the eye here. And now we're going to work our way down. We're going to use the triple warmer. So the triple warmer is said to be these channels that create and generate heat in the body. And that runs along the outside of the arm. So the heart, triple warmer, and pericardium meridians are all closely aligned. So from the outside of the eye, take it to over your ear, tapping round the back of your ear, the back of your neck, and then round to your collarbone. And let's go all the way along the collarbone. Top of the shoulder. Turn the arm so the palm is face down. And then let's tap down the outside of the arm. This yang element runs down the outside of the arm. All the way down towards the ring finger. And again, you might want to pause at the wrist, back of the wrist. And then when you get down to your hand, you might want to move to your fingertips rather than your knuckles. All the way outside of the arm to the outside, top of the ring finger. Now let's turn our hand. So that's the triple heater or the triple burner. Now we're going to work back, going back to the pericardium, so not quite the heart. So now go to the inside of the middle finger. And we're going to tap along the middle finger, center of the palm. You might use your fingers on your hand and then move to your knuckles for your wrist. Again, let's tap a few times on the wrist. And traveling all the way along the inside of the arm to the inside of the elbow. And then underneath the armpit. And this time we're going to move across our chest, again to the sternum here. And just up and down the sternum for a few times. So that's the heart meridian, which runs along the inside of the little finger. The triple warmer, which runs from the outside of the eye, outside of the arm to the ring finger. And then the pericardium, which runs along the inside of the middle finger, along the inner arm, armpit, and to heart center. So that's the root. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we'll start again with the little finger for the heart meridian. So tapping along the inside of the little finger, outside edge of your palm, and now switching to your knuckle or the wrist, working along the inside of your arm. And if you want to connect with your mantra on Som Somaya Namaha, my heart is bold, brilliant, illuminated. Just like the moon is bold, brilliant, and illuminated by the sun, working all the way up to the shoulder, inside of the armpit. Move across the chest to the sternum. Let's tap here, working your way up towards your throat. And then let's come to your two peace fingers, the peace fingers here underneath the lips. Work along the jaw. So this time I'm going to work along the other side of my face, the jaw, the cheekbone, outer eye, under the eye, and inside of the eye, which is where the heart meridian ends or starts, whichever way you think. Now we're going to move to the triple warmer. So from the inside of the eye, let's go back under the eye to the outside of the eye where the triple warmer is said to start and end. Over the ear, back of the ear, so the bone there, back of the neck. You might want to work all the way across your chest along this collarbone here. So I'm tapping along the collarbone to the shoulder. And I'm going to go down the outside of this arm for the triple heater. This is a yang pair, yang meridian, more active, more dynamic. Again, you might want to pause at the back of the elbow or the wrist. We're going to go all the way to the ring. So when you get to your hand, you might switch to your fingers for tapping. And then let's tap the outside of the ring finger. Flip your hand, start on the inside of your middle finger for the pericardium, and let's work along the middle of the palm. Back to the wrist, and I switch to my knuckles here. Maybe you pause at the wrist, the elbow, all the way back. Underneath the armpit, then across the chest to the sternum. Bravo. And now let's come into open arms here. Open out, stretch out through your arms. We'll do just some gentle tapping of the thymus here. So we're going to be tapping our heart. And as we tap, we'll do some very gentle twists. Not fast, gentle. So very gentle, soft, easeful twists. Tapping on the heart. Yum. Yum. Which is the bija sound for the heart chakra, the anahata chakra. Yum. Yum. Notice how that, when you tap on your heart space, there's a real strong connection and you can hear the vibration. And you can feel how strong the ribs are, the sternum that protect the heart space. Our heart is protected within this to use cage. It's more like a sort of a shell, like a beautiful shell, coral shell, or a gilded cage that keeps us safe. My dogs, I don't know if you have pets, and those of you who have pets will know that pets will always go and hide under somewhere. Children will also hide under something, pulling the bed covers over your head when you're scared. Our heart is protected in the same way. Let's slow down here and come to stillness, awakening the heart wisdom, connecting with the deep truth of ourselves so that we can be guided by love and compassion. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Let's do Samasana Pranayama. Open your mouth, poke out your tongue. Gentle ha. Doesn't need to be forceful. Bringing your hands to the earth. Let's transition into our first pose. Anahatasana, melting heart pose. So options here. You can have your folded blankets. You can use a bolster or a large pillow. So I've got 2 folded blankets here, and that will be high enough for me. So remember, this can be as high or as low as you want. We're placing it there for a little bit of padding when we come down to the sit. Let's place your hands in front of your blanket or your bolster, maintaining your hips and knees stacked here. And then slide your hands away and come onto your forearms. This might feel deep enough, intense enough extension, heart opener for you. If this feels too much, you can place your forearms on your blankets or your bolster or large pillow. So forearms on your bolster or forearms on the earth. Melt your heart down towards your blankets, your pillow. And stretch out your arms. It may feel too intense to stretch out both arms, so therefore stretch one arm and fold the other arm. You can rest your eyebrow center on the back of your hand. You can place a cushion underneath your eyebrow center into your variation. softening here. If at any time your extended arms begin to lose sensation or you experience pins and needles, fold in your arms or bring your elbows closer towards your body. If you have one arm extended, you're invited to fold it in and extend the opposite arm. And if your eyebrow center is connected to the earth, the back of your hand or a cushion, here visualize the Soma chakra. Soma means nectar of the moon. That gentle glow of the moonlight is said to nourish, hydrate, like sweet nectar, ambrosia. Soma means nectar. And use this Soma to enrich, nourish the heart space. In TCM, the fire element is connected with the heart meridian and the heart organ. This is your lion heart. Sometimes the fire may burn too brightly. The lion may be fearsome. We're inviting you through this practice to guide and use your energy, your power with caution, and to use it when it is likely to be most effective so that you don't become depleted. Choose your battles wisely. Three more breaths here in melting heart. Lift your eyebrow center and fold in both your arms. And then melt your sit bones back towards your heels, coming into child's pose. And you're invited to turn your blankets or your pillow so that it's long ways on your mat. And then bring your right ear to rest on your pillow, your bolster, your blankets. Arms can be alongside your body, face up, palms face up. Or your elbows can be angled slightly so that you can rest the side of your head on the backs of your hands. Come into your comfortable variation. In order to shine boldly and brightly, there's a period in which the light of the moon is said to be in its waxing phase. The light of the sun gradually reflects more greatly with the tilt of the earth. So we can gradually, with care, grow our vitality. That we can pace ourselves rather than to push forward with drive and dynamic energy, we can flow towards like the waves, the tide rolling in and out. It moves so slowly that you barely notice it. Incrementally, it comes closer and closer to land. Incrementally, the moon becomes brighter and brighter until it reaches its fullest power, its fullest expression. Turn your ear and bring your left ear onto your bolster or cushion or pillow. Soften. The back of your heart space is vulnerable here. It takes courage to be vulnerable. It takes courage to explore the depths of the heart's longing, the heart's wisdom, the heart's truth. This is the symbology of the heart in the human condition, in the human story. Is connected to the search for truth, for the search for connection, heartfelt, heartbreak, heartful, heartened, disheartened. So much of our language is focused on the heart, the language of emotion, the language of love, the language of faith and trust. Inhale, turn your head back to center. Slide your bolster or pillow widthways across your mat again. We're going to transition into Sphinx Pose. So come gradually onto your abdomen. Have your cushions or pillows or bolsters underneath your heart space so that they're supporting your rib cage. Your forearms can be on the earth, elbows closer or further away. Feet can be closer together or further away. This will create a different sensation in your lower back. It will either be more intense, the closer your feet together, the closer your elbows to your body, it will feel more intense. Further away your feet, further away your elbows, less intense the back bend will feel. You can stay here with your crown lifted. An option is to have a cushion on which you can rest your eyebrow center so that your heart space stays lifted here. You still have a soft back bend. And again, you can have as many layers as you want for your cushion. So I'm going to add one more layer to my cushion because I want it to be a little higher. Allow your shoulders to soften. Shoulder blades to slide down and away from your ears. Connect with the sternum, the experience in the sternum. Here where the pericardium and the triple burner meridian runs. So it's not often that when we think of yin, this kind of restorative energy of being. We don't often think about the element of fire within it unless we are practicing in the depths of winter and we want to create some warmth. But often when we practice in the heart meridians, we forget the connection to the fire element that sits with the heart space. The fire element is the energy element that gets us to do things, to be actors, to take action, to be change makers. But it's passing through the heart. These actions are passing through the heart energy. So if we are aggressive, confrontational, angry, hurtful, offensive, our truth may not be heard. So thinking about how you can speak truth with compassion, with ahimsa. 3 more breaths here in Sphinx. Letting your body know that you're about to move. Lifting your head. And from here we're going to roll over onto our right side. And I'm going to ask you, if you have your blankets, to roll them up a bit so that they become a little bit higher. Or to use your pillows. So we want these to be quite high. You can use your bolster. And what we want to do is place our armpit on above the highest point of our blankets or bolsters or cushions or pillows. So if you have a pillow, perhaps turn it on its side and double it up so it feels quite firm underneath the right armpit. So you're lying on your right hip, have a bend in your knees for a moment. Almost look like you're lounging here. And then your head, you can hold your head and support it in your palm of your hand. Or you can place a cushion on your shoulder and then rest your side of your head on the cushion. So then you can just hold the cushion there in place. There's a place we're trying to create a sensation is under the armpit, in what we have a sweet spot. So you may need to feel around. We're opening up the side chambers of the heart here. So you know we're working here with the pericardium, the heart protector travels through here. The heart meridian travels through here. Visualize yourself as a sleeping lion. Perhaps you cover yourself with a blanket. If you find that supporting your head with your hands as you soften and relax into this pose begins to hurt your wrist, then let your ear rest on your shoulder, roll up a blanket or place a cushion there. You don't have to stay still in discomfort. When we meet the edge that feels uncomfortable, we readjust. You can always stretch out your top leg and see how that feels. Keep the bottom leg at an angle. Then stretch out the bottom leg and see how that feels. If you have particularly bony hips, like I do, it may feel quite uncomfortable, so you might want to place a folded up blanket underneath the side of your hips there. And when we think of this analogy of the sleeping lion, this most proud, strong, powerful beast of nature. The king, the Lion King, as we often think of him, and her. This immense power and energy that lions have within is used cautiously. It's conserved. Lions very rarely use energy in wasted effort because energy, the use of such powerful energy can be draining and depleting. So think about the aspirations, the goals, the projects, the issues that you want to commit your energy to. 3 more breaths here in this extended side variation. And now we're going to roll onto our backs, moving into a heart opener, fish pose, supported fish pose, Matsyasana. Now check that you should still have your cushions here by your head. Should be a little gap between your cushions and your blanket, your bolster. Now you might need to adjust the height of your bolster. So you might need to draw your bolster out and have a lower cushion. So we roll onto our back so that our shoulder blades are resting, bend into your knees as you do this, so that your shoulder blades are resting on your blankets. And then cushion the back of your head. For some of us, it might feel too much to lower the head closer to the earth, so we might want to increase this height. What we want to experience, the sensation that we're looking for, is an opening across the chest. If our back of our neck feels too constricted, then we can add a cushion or a folded blanket. But you can feel that the heart space and the throat space are open here. Your arms can reach overhead, so you can take hold of opposite wrists, or you can have them lying alongside you in the air. Think about what feels comfortable for you, maybe have them further away. And when your upper back and your head are comfortable, and only when, let's extend your legs long and allow your ankles to soften. You may choose to cover yourself with a blanket here. You may choose to place the eye pillow over your eyes. And again, you can feel this lengthening along the rib cage here. This protective space in which the heart is held. We're creating more room for expansion, for the light to shine brighter, more boldly. If having your arms overhead leads to pins and needles or a loss of sensation, you can bring your arms down. You can also rest your right hand on your abdomen, your left hand on your heart. Yogi's choice. Lots of options for us. And if extending your legs feels too intense, you can always bend into your knees and place your feet flat on the left. Allow your knees to fall in towards each other and your feet to widen. So we come into this knock-kneed constructive rest variation for the lower body. Actually, this is completely wonderful for me. It may not be for you. Check in with yourself. We'll be here for 2 more minutes. Som Somaya Namaha, invoking the restorative light of the moon. Breathing into your heart space. Revitalizing your energy here with each breath. Notice the flow of the breath through each nostril, the right and left. The energy of the sun inhales through the right. The energy of the moon inhale through the left. Three more breaths here. If your legs are extended, bend into your knees. And we're going to roll over onto the left side. So move with care here, because we've been in this back bend for the upper back. So use helping hands here. Again, making sure that your blanket, your bolster or pillow is positioned underneath the armpit. Bend into your knees. Your right hand is acting as a scaffold, so place your right palm on the earth. Your head can be coupled in the palm of your left hand, or you can bring a cushion and place it on your left shoulder, so that you can rest your left ear on your cushion or folded blanket here. And remember, in this practice, this opening and extending the side body here, you can extend your legs one at a time. So start with the top leg. And then if that feels comfortable, you can extend both legs. You can keep a deep or soft bend in your knees. Yogi's choice. When the moon glows at night, even when we are fearful or lost, we can find our way. It is under the moon when we heal most strongly. Our body goes into the repair mode. When our cells rejuvenate, when we're in deep sleep. Let's have 3 more breaths here. And then with helping hands, remove your cushion that's on your shoulder or folded blanket. We're going to roll onto our abdomens here. And again, you might need to adjust the height of your blanket. So I'm going to take 1 layer off the blanket. So I'm still going to have a sort of sausage shape here. So I'm going to move it a little bit further down. Excuse my dog. Very badly. I'm going to move it lower down so that we have lots of space here for our upper body. We're going to place the blanket either underneath our abdomen or underneath our hips and pelvis. See what feels comfortable for you here. So for me, I'm going to place it directly under my hips and pelvis so that the heaviest part of me is resting on the blanket. Taking your elbows out wide, hands on top of each other. And again, here you might place your eyebrow center on a cushion or a pillow or directly on the earth. Just experiment. So I'm placing my hands on the earth and then my eyebrow center, the Soma chakra here, onto the backs of my hands. Cover yourself with a blanket. So this prone variation of Shavasana, supported underneath our abdomen, hips and pelvis. Having the arms, the elbows lifted so that they're parallel with your head, opens up the space underneath our armpits along the side body, stimulating our organs. Practicing restorative yoga is not the easiest thing to do when you have pets or small children. Carving out some time, perhaps even in bed. So often the only time that I can find for myself is first thing in the morning or last thing at night as I'm lying in bed. And then you can use your pillows and position your pillows underneath your upper back, your lower back, the sacrum area. You can roll over and place them underneath your lower abdomen or hips and pelvis, so that you gradually drop down into this restful, restorative place of the parasympathetic system, going into this phase when your body can relax on its way to gentle sleep. I like to use quite firm and heavy blankets for this practice. So using a heavy blanket, investing in a heavy blanket can be a really supportive decision when it comes to rest and reset yin. And this restorative practice of yin. Som Somaya Namaha. Connecting with the vulnerability within the hearts and drawing upon the strength and resilience that also exists. Building courage to speak up, step out, step up. When called upon. I know we can stay here in this pose for hours. We're going to again shift. We're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So again, you can use your bolster and folded blankets, leaving them where they are. And gently, with helping hands, you might shift it a little bit so that you don't fall to underneath your sit bones. And move with slow, easeful transitions. Come onto your back, feet planted on the earth, knees bent. And then inhaling to place your blanket, your pillow, your cushion underneath the heaviest part of your hips. So your tailbone is probably in the middle. Your weight here is fully supported by your bolster, folded blanket or pillow. And now allow your arms and your to turn face up, arms to turn face up, arms away from your body. Just realise that my head is in the dog bed. Supported bridge pose. Visualize the moon above. For extra comfort and ease, you can always bring your right hand to your lower abdomen, your left hand to your heart. Tuck in your chin slightly. And here at your mind's eye, just above the third eye, the Agnya chakra is the Soma chakra here, below the hairline in the middle of your forehead. And visualize here the moon, with all its ridges and craters, the places of shadow on the moon, the places that are illuminated by the light of the sun, reflecting on its surface. The detail, as if you can see the moon through a telescope. So near, yet so far from us. We often cannot see or look at the sun. It's too damaging for our eyes. And so the moon softens that glare of the sun so that we can gaze upon the moon without injury, without harm. It adds a nurturing, gentle quality to the light of the sun. still powerful. The moon has the power to move the tides. The moon has the power to affect our biological rhythms, our menstrual cycles. It has an invisible, unseen power. Three more breaths here in supported bridge. And then lift your sit bones slightly and draw out your pillow or bolster or blankets to one side. It doesn't matter which side you've done it, you probably pull it out with your dominant hand. So you twist towards that side first. You're coming into a supine twist. So open out your arms. Have your bolster or pillow or blanket so that when your knees fall, they land on your support. As you exhale, release your knees over to the side where your bolster is on the pillow cushion. You have the option to take your opposite arm overhead. So the arm that is on the opposite side of where your knees are. Lift that overhead so that you can open up your heart space here. This right arm, the arm that's closest to your knees can be extended at a more gentle angle, more acute angle. So it's not over your shoulder but some way down towards your knees. If it feels too much to place the back of your raised hand on the earth, you can always place a cushion or a pillow underneath that hand. That will give your shoulder more space. Three more breaths here. Inhale, bring your knees to center, lower your raised arm. And then let's take your pillow or bolster over to the opposite side so that you can release your knees over onto that side there. And again, take the opposite arm overhead. And be resting on a pillow or a cushion overhead. Brave of heart, vulnerable of heart, bold of heart, wise of heart. Inhale, back to center, lower your lifted arm. And I invite you to slide your bolster or rolled up blankets underneath the knees, extending your legs, Coming into Shavasana here. Covering yourself with a blanket. Covering your eyes with an eye pillow. And restore, nourish, brighten your light here for at least 5 minutes or longer. This is your opportunity to come into a deeply restorative, restful state of relaxation. And then when you, in your own time, are ready to rise up, close your practice with a gentle lion's roar, poking out your tongue and making that ha sound. And then Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Taking responsibility for closing your practice. Knowing when you are ready to close your practice. May you be happy and free. May you be wealthy, well and healthy. May you live life with ease and grace. May you be full of courage and heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.